First, U.S. planemaker Boeing is suspending production of its 737 MAX airliner starting in January. This best-selling aircraft was grounded last March following two fatal crashes in just 5 months. Boeing has not delivered any new 737 since then, while it worked out the causes of those crashes. The production freeze by one of the largest U.S. exporters will impact suppliers and airlines around the world, as well, of course, as the U.S. economy.
There are 400 brand new 737 MAX aircraft parked in Boeing's holding area. They've been grounded since April this year. Some are even parked in the employee parking lot. The production stop slated for this coming January is a drastic measure, and it's bad for Boeing's 12,000 employees.
I think halting production is a pretty major downside, that it disrupts the whole supply chain. It puts labor in a terrible spot. It causes a real loss of the economies of scale that this airplane has. You keep that assembly line going because of all the efficiencies.
In October 2018, a 737 MAX crashed in Indonesia. Then another one went down in Ethiopia last March. 346 passengers were killed in those two plane crashes, with the 737 MAX's faulty steering software playing a decisive role in both incidents. So far, Boeing has been unable to deliver a software correction that can be approved by the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration. The 737 is Boeing's best-selling aircraft. Airlines have placed thousands of orders, so U.S. airlines and European air carriers have had to cancel flights due to lack of aircraft.
The airlines themselves are in just a terrible spot because they're selling spring break, they're selling summer without knowledge of what their fleet is. And all parties need to have complete transparency here so we can come up with some reasonable plan, to get this crisis, get things back on track.
The loss of production at Boeing might have a ripple effect that could burden the entire U.S. economy.
Okay, well, how big will that ripple effect be? Monica Jones from DW Business is here to talk about that. Morning, Monica.
Morning,
Massive
Brian.
blow to the U.S. airline industry. Is one of America's, if not the biggest, one of its biggest exporting sectors.
It's a huge name. It's Boeing.
Yeah.
It's a big name. And certainly after those two fatal crashes, when they happened, that was already a major blow to its image and a major blow to its bottom line. And of course, it's a major blow to its main customers, in particular U.S. airlines, because their fleets mostly consists of 737 MAX. So they're grounded. So they had to incur heavy losses. They had to cancel destinations, which cost a lot of money, or they had to lease different aircraft, which, by the way, other airlines had to do too, like Ryanair here in Europe. That is additional cost. And Chinese airlines, the 737 MAX was very popular with them as well, and they were apparently among the first to actually sue Boeing over compensation, which is why Boeing set aside $5 billion in summer in order to be able to compensate these airlines. But that was when they were thinking that the aircraft would be up and running again by the end of the year, which of course is not the case.
Yeah, and we'll see if that $5 billion will be enough for compensation. How's Boeing coping with all of this? Are layoffs in the pipeline?
Well, Boeing says no. Boeing says that they will somehow find a way to keep employees, to keep staff ready. And of course, a lot of people saying that there was a major miscalculation on the side of Boeing, thinking that the 737 would be up in the air again by the end of this year. I mean, they continued production despite the fact that the airline, that particular aircraft was grounded for 9 months. They thought that it would be up and running by the end of the year. And of course, one of the major reasons for the delay is that the final software package, which was a renewed one, which was an improved one, still has not been handed over to U.S. authorities for testing and approval. And even if they gave it the green light, international authorities would have to approve it as well. And all of that takes time. They didn't consider that.
And the software package is at the center of one of the most important issues, convincing customers that this plane is safe.
Well, this is the big question, isn't it? I mean, Boeing maintains that they're keen to get the 737 MAX airborne again, of course, in a safe manner. But question is, will passengers still go for it. I mean, I personally don't think that this is going to be the end of Boeing, because in public opinion, people say, I don't want to fly a 737 MAX,
Right.
but I don't mind flying Boeing. So, I mean...
Not this particular aircraft.
Not this particular one, yeah.
Okay, Monica, thanks very much for that.